What's up guys, Hobo88 here, and welcome back to iRacing, and it's Build Week! We love Build Week on iRacing because that means new toys to play with, and this week, it's Cedar Lake Speedway, the newest dirt track to come to the iRacing service, and in today's video we're going to go ahead and cut some laps around here in every dirt car on the iRacing platform. It'll be a pretty long video, but it should be a good bit of fun. It's what we always do here on this channel. Whenever a new build drops in iRacing, we always check out all the dirt content. If you haven't already, make sure you duck back to yesterday's video and check out the big block modifieds. But in this video today, we're going to be looking here at this beautiful racetrack, Cedar Lake Speedway. It's about 0.375 miles in length, so it's around about a 1/3 mile track, and it is a beautiful piece of raceway. I've seen plenty of racing here before, and it always seems to put on good racing, so I'm hopeful that we can see more of that here on iRacing across basically any type of car. I do feel like this sort of track should suit almost all classes, but we'll know a bit more about that after the end of this video because we'll be able to see how all the cars drive and get a bit of an idea of what they're all like. So, guys, if you are new here or you are a long time viewer but haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. It makes a big difference and it helps me out a lot. But otherwise, just sit back, relax, and enjoy here a preview of Cedar Lake Speedway. Okay, let's go and have a bit of a look around the pit area before we head out on the track, because I like to do that just to get a bit of an idea of what's around. So in the pits, we've got some tow trucks, it looks like some gas, petrol, depending on where you are in the world, and a couple of safety vehicles, tow trucks, and some track prep equipment. I forget what they call those big rollers with the spikes on them. But other than that, it actually looks like it's basically just a big open square area of dirt, more or less, surrounded by this orange construction type fence. So that's pretty much it. It's a pretty basic pit area, actually. Looks like we've got a camper out there in the outfield out there, a couple of buildings, and then obviously your grandstands along here on the right hand side. This would be the back straight that we're coming out onto right here. And before we go out on track properly, one of the main features of Cedar Lake Speedway is the lake on the infield. Nice little water fountain that iRacing have put in and animated. That's very pretty. So, alright, let's go out on the track and see what it's all about. Obviously, if you guys are from this track or this area or go here regularly or have been here before, be interested to see what you guys think about it, whether or not it's nice and accurate looking, especially out in the pit area. Anyway, let's get out here and rip a couple of laps, see what it's all about. As is customary, I have not assigned a tear-off button for this car, so we'll be just dealing with the mud on the visor. Whoops. Get out there and have a bit of a look around here, see what the car's like. So, Cedar Lake, obviously unique in a lot of ways. The telltale thing for me about Cedar Lake is the orange walls, or yellow, I guess. Yellow walls, they always stand out pretty obviously. There's not a lot of tracks with yellow walls, so it's pretty identifiable as Cedar Lake when you see those. Combined with the fountain in the lake on the infield as well, that certainly makes it pretty obvious quickly that this is the track that you're at, and it's I don't know, it's an in-between size track. It's a funny size. It's 0.375 miles, so it's between a quarter mile and a half mile. It's a little closer to a half mile. I suppose it's pretty close to a 1/3 mile, actually, really, when you put it like that, isn't it? But it plays like a small track in a lot of ways, but then it also feels like a big track. So interesting place. I think it's going to put on good racing. The little dirt legend seems to get around here okay. That mud is in a hugely annoying spot. But it is very wide all the way from the pole line to the fence. I'm not sure what the actual track surface width is, but it's pretty wide. And it's all usable, more or less, too. That's the other thing. It's not just a dead area on the inside. You can get right down to the tractor tyres, or car tyres, whatever they are, on the infield there. And you can go right up to the fence. So, a good track surface, lots of room. And I fully expect, as it goes slick, especially in some of the more powerful cars, you'll see the very, very top line be pretty fast. And I actually expect that you'll get multi-groove racing around here on iRacing. I think it will be pretty good. But time will tell until we actually get out there and race on it. I should just point out as well, guys, 0% track state, as always, for kicking things off in the Dirt Legend in one of these track previews. And then, in addition to that, for the first time ever, I believe, we've gone with a sunrise time of day. So a nice early morning testing session here in our Dirt Legend, Cedar Lake. But as is usually the case, we've done a bunch of laps, and I think that we've probably learnt about as much as we need to here for this car. So let's go ahead and peel off into the pits. We'll have a look at the replay, watch a couple of those laps back. It always gives a good perspective on what the track's like. And then we'll come back after that and we'll do some laps in the dirt street stock, guys. So don't go anywhere, that'll be next. All right. Street stock. These things are always good fun. It's no longer sunrise, it's now morning. We moved the track state up to 15% as well, so we're getting a bit of a slick groove starting to form already on the bottom. Baseline set, as always. Now these cars always feel slow, especially so after you've been driving something like the Dirt Legend. Oh! So you tend to do dumb things like drive way too fast into corners. It's quite a clumsy big car, this one. Just feel like you got so much room to drive around, like the high line, especially as you're coming off the corner onto the main straight in particular. It just feels like you've got an eternity of room out there. One thing I have noticed is it's very wide track, but specifically, we'll try it again here. It's a bit high. The low line in turns 1 and 2, you got a long way to get to the outside wall, but you still tend to find yourself out there as you come off the bottom. Get right out near the outside wall. I'm not quite sure how these things would race here. I mean, typically with the street stocks, you find it's just one groove racing. There's one fast way and every other way sucks. And even as the track wears, it doesn't normally make a big difference to that. So I don't know whether or not you could actually run multiple lines here. Maybe you could. Maybe it's a track that you could actually have a top and a bottom in these sort of cars. I don't know. Don't really know. I mean, it seems plausible, but until I actually look at the lap times, it's hard to say. I'd say the top's just too far, I would say. Alright, well, we'll park this one up. We'll take a look at the replay. And then typically we'd come back in the UMP Modified next, so we might do that. UMP Modified next up on track. Okay, these will be interesting. UMP Modifieds now. Move to noon, middle of the day. The track state's now up to 30%, so you can see it's really starting to wear. Already, the UMP Modified is so far the most requested car I've had for this track. With its imminent release coming up, I've had quite a few people ask for this car around here. Not the big block modifieds, these modifieds. So UMP, let's see how it goes. I always forget how fun this car is until I drive it in these videos. Let's see if that's the same here. Now, a lot of you guys would have already watched my preview video from yesterday of the new big blocks. And I talked about how their handling characteristics are so different to these. And I feel like my conclusion about that is correct. These do feel very different to drive. Driving on the right front, that's what it feels like in these cars. Very sideways all the time. Now, I was talking before about how that wall on the outside will come out and grab you on the back straight. That's two laps in a row. I've hit that now. As I try to get the front wall as well. We don't like to discriminate around here. So you feel like you got a lot of room because the corners feel wide, the straights look very wide. But you kind of end up driving the track a lot more like an oval when you start using all the straights. It's obviously not as bad when you're running the high line, but when you start running the bottom, you never really straighten up on the straights. You're almost driving around in a circle and you're going right out to the walls. And again, right out to the fence. That problem sort of negates itself once you start running the top. Almost a full 180 degrees worth of lock into the wheel in the corners. Oh! Backed it in pretty hard right there, but that wasn't too good. I'm getting a lot of the wall. I think it's deceiving me. Again, I feel like there's heaps of room, but the corners, even the corners, the walls come out and grab you. I mean, in cars like this, you kind of get away with it, but I'm a little bit nervous about things like the sprint car, the Midget, the dreaded Wingless Sprintcar. We got that to come yet. Alright, that'll do us, I think. We'll roll back into the pits. We'll go back and take a look at the replay and see what that looks like. I think that should be pretty good to watch, actually. These cars are a lot of fun around here, the best so far. And the Midget will be the one that we roll out with next. We'll see how that goes right after this. Let's get out there. Let's get after it. Rip a few laps here in the Midget. I love the Midgets. Cars I just do not drive often. Oh, Jesus, bumpy pit area. It's still noon, middle of the day, but now the track state's up to 50%. This will probably take a couple of laps to figure out what I'm doing. Let's hope we figure it out before we flip. I'm worried about the walls on the straights, especially. Oh, that was close to the wall. That was really close to a wall. We almost got the tyres up here on the entry to the corner. Actually, no, we didn't go anywhere near the tyres, but we did go very close to the fence. starting to understand how they work again. It's been a while. I believe this is the first time I've driven the midgets on the new computer, because all my controls were not binded for this car, so... Actually, that seems like a lie, because I think that we did the Weed Sport video on this computer, so that would be just a straight up lie. I don't know why my controls weren't binded, but we don't drive it often anyway. The moral of the story, that cushion is pretty savage up there. Let's see if we can hit these infield tires. Actually, you know what? I think this track could be good for midget racing. I can see a couple of lines working in these cars. Yeah, get up there. Oh, 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 oh. Uh-oh. Are we still maybe dead? We still may be dead. No, we're good. It's all going to end very badly, I think, in a minute, you guys. Oh, the midgets are so good. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that was the one. Alright, it's time to park it before we kill ourselves. Oh! Oh. Oh man. Alright, we're gonna come back. We're gonna do the big blocks next, actually, to split up the wingless sprint car in this. So big blocks will be next, guys. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, I know I did do laps in the big block here at Cedar Lake in my big block video that went up yesterday. But we're back, we're going to do it again. New car, I have to. Track state's right up at 70%, I think I put it. They're so different to the UMPs to drive. They sound good. Oh. Uh-oh. Tires, tires, tires. Oh. They're just so much fun to drive. They're just so much fun to drive. I can't even talk, I'm just... It's just utter perfection. I could just keep doing that until I ran out of fuel, honestly. But we better not. Park it up, take a look at the replay, and we'll come back in a moment and check out the Wingless Sprintcar. Let's see how that goes right after this. just feels like a bad idea, guys. This is the 360 variation of the Wingless Sprintcar. Like usual, I'll wig out and don't go for the ultra powerful version. I think this will be powerful enough on a 90% track state. The day's wearing on, it's now in the late afternoon, sun's beaming down. On the baseline setup for this track. See if we can figure out how to drive it before we hit the wall and flip. Oh, big bump right in the main straight, I think that is. No, no, oh. It's just one of those cars where you sort of just got to go for it. Only half driving them doesn't work. It always makes me look like an idiot, this car. Not today. Maybe today. No, not today. Oh, we cooked it, we cooked it. No, we got it. Admittedly, it is making me look a bit like an idiot. The bottom seems safe. Let's try the bottom. Seriously, if we make it through 5 minutes without flipping. Oh no! Oh, we got away with it! Oh! That should have been a flip right there. I mean, it's so much fun when you get it right, but it's just flat out scary, this car. Before we crash, I think that'll do it. We did it! We survived! We only look a little bit stupid. Alright, let's have a look at the replay of that. Probably tell a bit more of a story to how bad we really were there. And then we'll come back and we'll hit up the NASCAR Truck next, guys. We'll bring that out for a drive. I have some pretty bad ideas, guys, but this one always tops the list. And the last time I excluded the NASCAR truck from a track preview, I got crucified for it. So here it is. I've just got the Eldora set up on this. 100% track state, you guys. Our mandatory half spin on the first lap because I don't know how to drive them. Try and work our way up the hill a bit. That's up there. Oh boy, it's loose. That's a wall. I don't think there's a whole lot of point trying to run the bottom. Almost certainly got to run third gear to get around down here. Oh. It's fun, but it's hard. It constantly tries to spin you out. I'm pretty satisfied with that effort. Now, the last time we did a video, we put the Pro 2 truck in, but because we got the big blocks this time, I'm going to forego that. We're going to skip this Pro 2 trucks. They're not really necessary because they're not really a dirt oval car. So that means we'll move straight on to the super late model. We'll bump the time of day into the evening and we will reduce the track state and have a rip. Let's get out there and have a crack here in the super late models. We've gone to sunset. Time of day is later than it was, and we're down to 25% track state now, so we should be able to have a pretty good dig here. We should have a bit of bite. Oh. Understeer. The old late model drive's a bit different now that I'm used to the big blocks. It's making me look like an idiot. We'll figure it out here in a sec. There we go. Now we got it. Very messy. Setup's pretty tight on the bottom. It's better. I think it might have been a bit more driver than setup, let's be honest. And once you start to get into a rhythm, it's pretty smooth around the top. It's a fun track. Well, that was a bit of a silly line. It's good fun, you guys. It's good fun. I think this will be a good track for late model racing. I really believe this will be a good track for racing in general. I think we'll get lots of side-by-side racing around here. It'll be tight on the straights, but Very good in the corners. So fun fact, you guys, I went to load into a night session so that we could have a look at the track under lights. And there is no lights. The lights didn't work. So I don't know if that's a bug or something, but at the minute, no night racing here it seems, because all the lights didn't do anything. It was just pitch black. So maybe in a later video we'll get to experience this place at night. It's got light towers. We know that it's got lights. But for whatever reason that didn't work. 410 wing sprint cars. And they're rapid. These things always put on a good show at this track. We bumped the track state right down to like 5%, I think it was, so we can just rip wherever we want. Man, they're fast. Oh, don't hit the tyres. Oh, that won't go well, ever. Such a fast track. Such a fast track. I fully expect that the racing here will be pretty good. Be interested to see how it slickens off in these sort of cars actually. Across a run, across a night. We're on the baseline set, the Cedar Lake baseline set. I've got no idea how much fuel was in it though. I dare say it would have been pretty much a full tank, so we shouldn't run out. But we'll know what happened if we do. Oh, that's a little too close to the wall. It's a bit hard to run right up against the wall when the track isn't really worn out like that naturally. Try and run up there on a greasy track and it's not that effective. That line right through the middle there is pretty good. Anyway, I think that's probably enough laps, guys. Just before we duck back into the pits, I just want to say again, thanks to everyone for watching. If you've made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. We will run the replay of these laps in just a second, but I'll just finish up by saying, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hobo88, twitch.tv/Hobo88 if you want to check out the live streams. And if you want to be part of the Hobo88 community, check out the Discord channel. The link is in the description below. All in all, I have to say Cedar Lake is a great addition to iRacing. I think this track will be good to race on in pretty much anything, which is what I like about it. Pretty diverse track. It's not tailored to any specific car. I think it'll work well for pretty much anything, and it looks and drives fantastic, as you would expect. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.